Hello everyone, Fistful of Goats here, and this is the third time I've recorded this today, so I apologise in advance. I'm a bit annoyed here right now. Today I'm going to show you guys my Sky Striker list, post-ban list. This is because I haven't been able to do much scripting videos this week because of works around my house. So consider this a holdover till the next big video comes out. So Sky Striker is one of my favourite decks, as most people know. It's a deck I've been playing almost since it was released, and with 3 engage now it's gotten a lot stronger. Not tiered stronger in my opinion, but I think it's a decent rogue option nowadays, and hopefully what the new support will bring. So yeah, let me show you what I've got for this new list, and also if you guys got any ideas, feel free to share them in the comments below. So our striker pilots are still 3 Ray 2 Rose. These I think are still the correct ratio. Ray is obviously the better one because it gives you a quick link and can bring yourself back when a mech is destroyed. Although with Esplument now, Rose is much more occurable because she comes back whenever an opponent's card leaves the field, so you can trigger that with SP very easily. But I still want to play this ratio because Rose by herself is just a lot worse. Next up for the hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm. Now I'm playing these because it's a new format, I'm not sure what the best is yet. My meta is also far less fire dependent than a lot of others, so Ash is still a decent pick. I think in my opinion is the best hand trap right now in the game because Draw's gone a lot worse with a lot of decks just setting from deck. Same reason why Colossus is a lot worse than he used to be. But I will be experimenting with things like Veiler, Ghost Ogre, Nibiru and stuff in the future to decide on a final hand trap lineup. For the spells, because yeah, there's such deck as entirely spells. 3 engage, and God does that feel great to say. For those who don't know what this does, it lets you search a striker spell when it's activated, and if you've got 3 more spells in the graveyard, and then lets you draw a card. Not once per turn, by the way, making this one of the best card draw and card advantage cards ever printed. At 3 I like it because it gives us more chance to draw it, as opposed to just seeing it off duplicates with kind of reviving it with Kagari, meaning you got more chance of using it twice or more per turn. Complementing that, we have 3 Widow Anchor. This is a change of heart if you've got 3 spells in the grave, but if you don't, it's still just a good effect, Veiler. We use this merely to distract our opponent going on their turn. We can use it to set up our bigger link plays. It's the first card we get off of Shizuku when we summon that, and it's one of the best cards to occur with our continuous spell. This card is really good at forcing out interactions on the opponent's turn as well. Like, you can use this to steal a card they want to use when they have Masquerader, to force them to do the Masquerader play before they want to. And if they don't do that, it's really good at taking out critical pieces of their board, depending on the deck you're playing against. Then we have 3 copies of Linkage. This is a quick link by sacrificing a monster. This gives you not only a way to get more striker monsters out during the opponent's turn, it also gives you ways to dodge things like Ash Blossom and Imperm. Definitely one of the better cards in this deck, and what I'm glad we got because not only did it give us this, it gives us more ways to get our play started, and it makes it less like we're going to brick on the other striker spells. Not brick, but you know what I mean. Being able to do our full plays because we have access to a pilot. For the 2 obs, we have 2 Shark Cannon, which I'll probably bring up to 3, with Snake Eye still being the best deck by far. This card lets us deal a Crow card if we haven't got 3 spells in the grave, and lets us Crow with a potential monster board if we do have 3 spells on grave. This is great at disrupting decks like 2 Elements, Snake Eyes. Pretty much anything uses the graveyard extensively, this card's really good against. So yeah, this is probably one I'm going to be up into 3 in my next version of this deck. Next we have 2 copies of Afterburner and 1 copy of Jamming Waves. I'm playing it like this because Jamming Waves is only situationally good, whereas Afterburner is almost more universally powerful. For those who know what these do, this card can pop a space down spell trap. If you haven't got 3 spells in the grave, if you've got 3 spells in the grave, they can also non-targetly destroy a monster. So the point is selling things, this card is better in a vacuum, whereas this card can pop a monster on the field and any spell trap card non-targeting with 3 spells in grave. But often the pop is going to be more likely than this to go off, so that's why I'm playing this ratio. Next we have 1 multi-roll, 1 area 0 and 1 drones to round up the striker list. Drones is the only card that is still at 1 because it gives the deck fast move splashability, but allowing you to summon a token. Then you can do the full striker plays with not much deck space. But I like this card because not only does it give us more chances of seeing a pilot turn 1, but it also lets us push 3 more damage if we need to late game. This card lets us filter through our deck to get our striker cards. You can pop a card face down and then add a striker card from the top 3 to your hand. And then when it's popped, like with this for example, you can then add a pilot direct to your hand. This card lets you, like I said, it protects your spell traps by popping a card in the field. And it can also let you recur your spells from the graveyard or from the striker spells you've played before at this turn. Meaning you can reuse your Widow Anchors, you can reuse your cannons, and in a pitch you can get back your engages. Although be warned, it does bash and it kind of brings back when you use it. So if possible, don't go for the engage because you want to just kick Kagari at the turn. But if they force you into the very late game where you haven't got any Kagaris, that can be an option. 3 Upside Goblin because it's basically 3 free cards in this deck, like up your spell count to both trigger your spells and make your striker monsters either bigger or make your monsters weaker. And yes, it gets 1,000 points per card, but with how grindy this deck is, that doesn't matter at all. 1 Rotor for more ways to get into our striker races. 1 Snatch Steal, 1 Change of Heart. I am generally considering cutting the Snatch Steal and playing Mind Control instead, because it fills up the graveyard faster. But both these are here to take care of cards that we don't want to destroy. We can take the monsters to link up with, or we can just beat in with them if they're big enough, like Flamberge for example. For our removals, we have 1 Harpies and 2 Lightning Storms. These are mostly here to deal with Snake Eyes' back row and things like Labyrinth. But this can also be just a Raigeki if you need it to be. And they're usually ways to fill up your graveyard. And my final spell I'm actually debating on right now. Currently we're playing Thief-Bitten Droplets. This card non-targetedly failures cards by pitching certain cards from your hand. So if you pitch a monster and a spell, it's very hard for most decks to interact with this card because they can't interact with cards that you've pitched. However, this card also fills up the grave with spells for striker plays. The only thing is though that if you don't clear the opponent's field after you've played this, it does leave you very low in card advantage. So one card I'm considering playing is another board wipe with Raigeki. But currently I think Droplets is the better option. For the extra deck, we'll begin with the non-striker cards. Only 3 of them. Access Code to finish matches quicker. IP Masquerena to go into Esprit Knight. Esprit Knight is such a great addition to this deck. She's potentially two or more pieces of removal, and she can clear us out of the extra monster zone to bring more striker spells, more striker monsters rather. If you go first, she's one of the best cards to make outside of Sky Striker Azalea, along with the back row you can side in for it. So yeah, those are the non-striker monsters, and everything else in this deck is just a striker. So we have 1 Azalea and 2 copies of Zeke for removal. Azalea can destroy a card on summon as long as you've got 3 more spells in grave, and then she cannot be destroyed in battle if you've got by banishing a spell. She's basically like a budget Fenrir. And this card banishes a monster to the end phase of the opponent's next turn, which is great disruption against decks, again, like Snake Eyes, that 1 card's in the grave or on the field. And it's also a great way to link up into Access Code Talker with IP. And then we have the old guard, 3 Shizuku, 3 Kagari, 3 Hayate. These make up our resource loops. This sets a card to the graveyard. This then brings that card back, and this adds the deck to the hand. So they give us ways to recur engage, ways to get a Widow Anchor. And these 2 also are good at disrupting the opponent's field. This buffs itself by 100 for every spell in the graveyard. This weakens the opponent's cards by 100 for every spell in the graveyard. So the longer the game goes, the weaker the opponent's monsters get, and the easier it is to just run them over with our Sky Striker monsters. And rounding things off, we have the side deck, which I will just remind people is designed for my locals, and I would not recommend this side deck if you're playing at a higher level event. So first we have 1 Shared Ride and 1 Kaiju, and one of the Kaijus, the Sky Striker Kaiju Hamp. And Hamp is here because my meta has things like Psychic and Punisher in it. There's Purley player is really good. So I want ways to deal with monsters that strikers can't out themselves. This is here from forced to go first. It's a max C whenever the opponent searches, so it gives me more chance to see hand traps, so interact with the opponent going first. And it lets me draw in some more of the traps I'm setting in to set along with an SP or an Azalea, which is probably my best play going first. Speaking of my going first cards, we have 3 copies of Grave of the Ancient Organism. This card's a Mystic Mind for level 6 or higher monsters. They're special summoned. This is good against Branded, it's good against Voiceless Voice, it's good against Tempai Dragons, etc. In fact, Branded struggles a lot to play through this card. And backing it up for my last go first card, we have 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. This was summon limit until the new Banlist took effect. Just a way to say no to one of the opponent's cards is really good in this deck, especially if you see a hand trap like Ash to back it up. Again, this is the card that I'm most dubious about, because obviously if you can close to the time you don't want to play this. So this might be the one I switch up for something else in the future. But for now, this is my best option if I'm forced to go first. And we have 3 draws, which I'm not maining because a lot of decks play around it nowadays. But this is here to go against something like Voiceless Voice or occasionally Branded. If others know what this does, it prevents people from searching their deck after they've searched once. So it basically stops decks that don't summon or set from deck from doing that much, or at the very least, it means their resources are heavily affected, which against Striker is death. Because Striker's best attribute is recording so many resources a turn that it just buries the opponent in advantage. And finishing this up, we have one of the go second card, and it's evenly matched. This is if we actually need to deal with everything in the opponent's field, and just poking with Hayate and then doing the full striker loop isn't enough. This is good against decks that you can't target with your spells. It's good against decks that if the monster sticks in the field will be too much trouble to deal with. And it's good at forcing decks that use cards like Secret Vision of the Spellcasters to re-weaken their board if they want to keep you off your spells. I know that sounds a bit specific, but there's at least 2 match better players currently in my locals, and colours are considering playing it, so this could be a good option against that deck. Overall, again, this deck is not going to be a meta threat, but I think it'll be a powerful rogue option. And if you guys have any suggestions to improve this deck, please leave them in the comments below. My Allowen video will be out by the end of the week, hopefully, as long as there's no more work still in the house. As far as I'm aware, there isn't, so fingers crossed on that. And I will see you guys soon.